Hi everybody, welcome back to a brand new video. So I thought today, being that the Rocket Pass has only been out for like what, 6 days now, and not a lot of people have actually, obviously, including myself, have not gotten the chance to actually grind through the Rocket Pass or really see any of the new painted items unless they've went on YouTube and watched that. So what today I'm going to do is give you a full showcase of all the items within the Rocket Pass. Well, all the painted items in the Rocket Pass. So we're going to start with Capacitor 4s here. Right now, there's zero paint on them, obviously. However, you know what? Let's start with something mostly underrated. Let's start with Burnt Sienna. Where is that? That will be right here. And then we're just going to examine them. So first off, here we have a Burnt Sienna Capacitor 4 wheels. By the way, only the final variations of all these items can be painted, so like you'll see Mage Glass 3, only that can be painted, Cloudburst, I'm not sure if it's 3 or 4, only that can be painted, not the version below it. But yeah, no, right now we have Burnt Sienna Capacitors, which actually don't look that bad. I think, personally, they look really good. You guys can let me know in the comments down below, but yeah, no, that really looks, that looks nice. And I think that a lot of people who get this will really enjoy this wheel. Next, we're just going to go straight up from the top and keep going down. So now we have our Crimson Capacitor 4s. And wow, those are just... Hang on, I have to switch my car for this. Let's create a new Dominus preset real fast. And again, like, wow, that really looks good, especially if you're making like red designs, or, you know, if you're doing something like a Pin My Rocket League ride, and, you know, something Crimson pops up. I'm sure you could just swap any of those Crimson wheels for this thing, because these are just, my personal opinion, probably one of the best looking wheels in the game. I highly recommend downloading Bakay's mod, or however you pronounce it. I'll leave a link in the description to the website where you can download it. It's a really good app for, like, really getting you to, like, excel in the game. It has so many training options. It's such a fun application to use. I highly recommend downloading it. Anyways, that's enough of the Crimson ones, which I just love. It kind of reminds me of Voltaics. I really like these. Alright, Lime. I'm actually really excited for this one because Lime's one of the more underrated colors, so I feel like this probably will look really good on this car. Really excited. Wow. I love how it just glows. Like, look at that. That's just amazing. There's so much glow to it. I feel like there's probably more glow than titanium white ones. We haven't gotten to titanium white yet, but this already, like, again, like, once, see, look at the trail here. Once you actually start to see that, like, really intensify, it's just, the bloom on it is incredible. I love this. So now, we're gonna go black, which... Okay, black kind of looks like what I would think gray would be. I'm glad it's not like most of the black wheels where they just turn off all the lights and it's just the wheel. I'm glad they actually kept that on. But I don't really know. It's not like anything too, like, special, to say the least. It's not too crazy. Definitely for making, like, a gray car, probably use black over gray, because this is probably about the grayest you're going to get. But yeah, no, nothing too crazy. Nothing too, like, special or anything, just, you know. It looks okay, I guess. You know, I'm not really the biggest fan. Then we're going to move on to Sky Blue. By the way, Sky Blue is one of my all-time favorite colors, so this better look incredible. Yes, that does. That's just, wow, what a beautiful wheel. Again, I love how, like, there's so much shine to it. It's not, definitely not as much as Lime, but that's fine because it's just like, it just, I love the color a lot. And also, if you look here, you can even see that it's got like their own like sub-trail here within like the rims of the wheels. Like you have these little parts that pop out, that's also painted, that's really cool. One thing I wish they would do is this gray part over here that I'm highlighting. Wish they would paint that, but then again, you know, not everything's perfect, so... We're going to move on to Cobalt, which shouldn't be too different from Sky Blue. Which, you know, again, not very different. It still looks really good in my opinion. However, I personally prefer the Sky Blue over the Cobalt just because of personal preference. But, you know, it's not too bad looking, not too good looking. I like it. I think it's just a clean, solid wheel. You know, it's your call. I'm pretty sure we already went through burnt sienna. That was the first wheel. So we're going to move to forest green. Actually, wow, hold on a second. There's not very much bloom here in the very slightest. Like, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that there's no bloom, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I was kind of expecting a lot more. I mean, there is bloom, obviously, but there's not very much. You can see a lot of the more lines and stuff, which I guess if you're really into, like, more of the shape of the wheel, then I guess this is good for you, but wow, not very much bloom or anything like that. Alright, we're gonna move on to purple. This, again, I'm expecting it to look really good, hoping there's a lot of bloom, because bloom's really something I look for in a lot of these wheels. But then again, suit yourself, your preferences, leave them in the comments down below. I like it. Actually, that's amazing. I don't even care that there's not very much color. It kind of reminds me of, like, Centros, almost. You can sort of see where I'm coming from, but yeah, no, I really like this. Wow. Again, just beautiful wheels. Again, Capacitor 3 is probably one of my all-time favorites. Just look at that. You have, like, parts of the tread here, which just, like, they got lights in them, and you get, like, all the lightning and stuff. Kind of reminds me of the Voltaics. But, again, these are really, like, these really pop out. And yeah, this is a nice wheel. So now we're going to move on again to pink, which shouldn't look that different. Actually, pink is kind of weird. This is one of the shinier ones. It almost looks drained of color, which I guess is a bad thing, but at the same time, if it's drained of color, then that reminds me of titanium white, in which we all know titanium white's probably going to be the best looking one here. As of right now, my vote's on sky blue, but, you know. Which one's your favorite? Leave in the comments down below. Again, we are going to move to orange, which should look a lot like burnt sienna, which is the first wheel. Yeah, really, a lot of the trend I'm noticing with orange lately is it's basically just burnt sienna with bloom on it. You know what? Let's compare. So you have orange here, which is just very bloomy, and then we're going to go to burnt sienna. Yeah, just a lot more bloom and shine, whereas burnt sienna is more like, you know, darker and just a lot less shine, really. So if you're into that shine thing, I guess orange is the way to go, but actually, wait. Look at the middle. The middle's got some big differences. I personally really like the burnt sienna middle. Kind of looks like fire, whereas orange is just, I don't know, it's a bit bright for my taste, and not really good in this shade of color. Alright, gray ones. Gray Capacitor 4s. I wonder how this is going to... Let me guess, it's just going to be titanium white. Yup, that's white. Come on, that is white. Look at that. If that doesn't scream white to you, I don't know what does. That's the issue with most of these wheels, right? Like, you have Psionics make wheels, but they're all going to be like, you know, you have your gray ones, which are going to look exactly like white ones. So whenever you get these, you're not going to be able to tell which ones these are. You know, if you see them in a thumbnail. Or if someone else owns these and they don't show you, you think that it's titanium white. Actually, you know what? Let's see if there's a big difference. You know, I could just be, you know, underestimating the difference between these two. Titanium, actually, you know what? No, we're going to save titanium white for last. And we're going to go to saffron first. Actually, this is kind of, I kind of think, I don't really know. I kind of like it, but I just don't like this middle color. I feel like they could have done a bit more with that. But other than that, I love the tread. Absolutely love it. Just amazing. But then the middle, it's sort of just like a letdown here. And I'm not talking about like the middle, like the part that pops out, because that's, again, a really good part. But like, just the circle. That's like, that's a good one. So we're going to move on. Sorry if my voice is a little weird. You know, might be kind of sick. I'm not too sure. So finally, we're going to move on to the titanium white Capacitor 4s. These must look incredible. And hopefully, they're a lot more different than gray. 3, 2, one. That's just... Whoa. Hold on a second. That's just beautiful. Look at that. Again, there's so much shine on it, and it's beautiful. Especially when it's just... This white color just works really well with most of the wheels. Like, even if you put something basic on, like flames, or if you're like me, you like parallax. So, you know. Actually, no, let's see that for a second. Again, like, just what... This just goes so well together already. Like, this could already be a really cool car if there wasn't, like, any rocket boosts or anything in the game they'd have to manage. Anyways, enough of that. I'm going to switch to the blue car now. And we're going to take this off. Replace it with just, you know, a no decal. And time to check out... Hang on. It's time to take a look at the Troublemaker Force, which comes at tier 58, so you'll be able to get these beforehand. By the way, this is a good look at regular Capacitor 4s if you wanted one. This looks exactly like the Cobalt Tread, so just letting you know right now. So there's a quick look, and we are moving on to Troublemaker 4s. Again, here's a quick look at the default. I personally do not like these wheels by default, and that's mainly because the skull is just such a different color from the rest of the things around here, but, you know, we'll see. Maybe the painted ones will fix my opinion of this wheel. So we're going to start again with Burnt Sienna, which I don't think should look very good just because of this wheel, but, you know, we'll see. Actually, wait, hold on. This actually just looks like a proper brown. It doesn't look like the way Burnt Sienna usually does, some weird mix between, like, orange and black. It's just like, this is a proper brown. I kind of like it. I don't know, if you want, like, brown wheels, that's fine. I think this looks a lot better, even than default Troublemakers, and I'd be much happier using these over default, as I said. So we're going to move to Crimson, which if Burnt Sienna looks good to me, then Crimson has to look incredible. And it does. I'm going to switch to the red car again, just so you can see it on something red. Again, I love how, like, once you put all of the, like, colors on the Troublemaker wheels together, it just really makes a fine piece. Like, this trail, this animation, almost reminds me of, like, Trigon or something. Which, again, just really nice, like, the way it's put together, this wheel, once painted, is actually something incredible. And I highly recommend going through the Rocket Pass, or, you know, just using Backay's mod like I did, to equip these. I think that these are probably one of the best in the set, and I'm really excited to see some of the other painted variants. Alright, we're going to move on to Lime, which, you know, I think these wheels are just going to be based on just the sole color, so I shouldn't see anything too different. But then again, this is for you guys, not for me. Actually, wait. Okay, Lime looks kind of... I don't know, it looks kind of faded with the skull here, but then the rest of it looks kind of... No, it all looks faded, really. I don't know, when I think Lime, I just think a lot more stronger colors, a lot more vibrant, but this is a very faded version of Lime. Like, you get your Lime Wonderments, right? But, like, those are like prime, like, green, and these, they're very faded. However, it's still good looking and much better than default Troublemakers. Okay, now for black, which I have no idea what to expect from this. Maybe it's just gonna look gray. Maybe it could actually look really cool, just because I know skulls could look really cool with black. Yeah, again, that's just like... Yeah, it's basically gray, really. But then again, this actually looks kind of clean. Like, if you're really into a gray wheel, probably skip the gray version of these and just go for the black, because this does gray a lot better, probably, than the black ones. I kind of like it. And over here, you have, like, this little titanium white looking thing. Black is sort of a hybrid between gray, titanium white, And yeah, just a hybrid between those two. And I think they did a really good job with it. I don't know. Especially, like, it kind of looks like like a black and white photo almost. Moving on to Sky Blue, which again should be a really good looking piece, especially because I have high hopes for this one. Sky Blue. Yeah, no, that's really cool. I like this. I like it a lot. Like, you can just tell, like, again, I know I've said this before, but once all the colors of Troublemaker 4s, they come together, it really just makes this beautiful piece. I love the tread. I'm not sure if the original tread is sky blue or not, but nonetheless, it's a really good looking tread and just an awesome wheel to have. The skull actually looks really good in sky blue, but you know, whatever color suits you, it's sort of just the same color really. Like, you already know what to expect, unless you're using like black or something when you get a painted version of these wheels. And you can pretty much self-predict the color. Cobalt, again, yeah, just like the last one, really good looking. Actually, there's some sort of bloom here between like the rim of the wheel, like the open part, like not where the skull is, but behind the skull, around the skull, the background, which I think that's a really nice touch to a wheel, and especially good if you're looking to, like, let's say, you know, make, I'm not really sure how to put it, but if you're trying to make, okay, yeah, if you're trying to make a car pop, then you could really use these wheels. I highly recommend them. This is, like, amazing. Really fixing my opinion on Troublemaker 4s. Burnt Sienna we already looked through. And now it's time for Forest Green. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are these so shiny? This is what I thought the lime one was going to be. Like this, wow, this is like, Forest Green's usually darker, but this is really bright. Again, that background which I was talking about, you really see that start to play in here. This is bright. Not sure I'm digging it very much, but I'm sure you guys will. And again, leave your opinions in the comments down below. Okay, now we're going to move on to purple, which I hope, you know, I'm really hoping for something good here. Hopefully nothing too bright from Forest Green. Okay, this is a very well done purple, but it almost, like, you see that, like, those flashing lines there, like, around the Troublemaker's head, that is pink. That is not purple, that is pink. Then again, I have no idea what the pink ones are going to look like. Not that as intense as the Forest Green ones, but still pretty intense on color. I like the way it contrasts with the dark part of the skull and the light part. Those two contrast well together. Okay, now we're going to do pink, which this is probably going to stay the same, my prediction. Okay, kind of. Pink and purple, they're not that different. Maybe because the pink is a lot less intense. Honestly, without, you know, looking at these, I could probably only assume it's pink because of the tread. But this looks a lot more like a magenta color, which, you know, I kind of wish there were magenta painted wheels, but this is probably the closest you're going to get. Again, just do another look through. Which, you know, I think this is pretty cool. You know, nothing too crazy. Not bad, not good either. Okay, now we're going to move on to orange, which I'm hoping for the best here. Orange kind of looks like... Okay, it does not look like burnt sienna. At least not everywhere. Like in the center, the really dark part kind of looks a lot like a brown. But the rest, it's pretty good and pretty accurate. Like you have these, you know, the trail here. That's pretty orange. They did a pretty good job with that. And then you have, like, you know, the really bright lines which fade in and out, and the skull, which just has a mix of a brown and an orange color. The skull looks very faded to me, but the rest looks pretty good. Alright, time for one of the big reveals that I'm excited for, gray. I actually have a new respect for a lot of the gray wheels in this game, so I'm hoping this could actually look really cool. Again, this just kind of looks like titanium white. I mean, there's some gray, but it kind of looks more like a white thing. Like here, that's all white. The trail, that's all white. But then the skull is completely gray, and so is the background. It looks titanium white, but you can definitely tell if you look into the background that, oh no, it's not white, it's gray. So, yeah, leave your opinions. I think, you know, it's just gray, you know? It's not like, you know, how else do you make gray? Gray's not the best looking color to begin with. Again, we're going to go to saffron, and then go back up to titanium white. Which, oh, wow. I was really hoping saffron could, like, pop a lot, but it doesn't really pop that much. It only pops, like, around the metal rim, around the skull. Which, you know, that's cool, but I kind of thought, the tread was going to pop. The skull was also going to be really bright. That's what I was thinking, but, you know, it's not all, like, you know, that perfect. It's still pretty good. I could definitely dig these. And now for the final reveal, titanium white. I'm gonna do another countdown because I'm really excited about this. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Whoa! Oh, that's bright. Oh my god, that's bright. It just looks a lot like the gray, but it's like really bright, and there's so much bloom, which is what I love about mostly titanium white things. This looks amazing. I think I might switch from sky blue to titanium white for this wheel. Or really, most of the wheels in general. Most of the color I'm looking for is sky blue, but now this titanium white's looking really cool. And I know, oh, everyone's looking for titanium white, not very original. Of course not, but you know. I still think that this is just an awfully clean wheel. I'm only going to be showcasing the wheels for today. If this video actually gets seen and gets a couple likes, I will do the Mage Glass antenna and, of course, the new Maverick GXT body, which I'll find some sort of way to obtain so I can paint for the next video. I'll see you guys around, and yeah, have fun. Thanks for watching, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe.